Hello, in this video, I'll be demonstrating the Scratch animation that I have created and then just briefly reflecting on how programs like Scratch can be used in the classroom. And if you don't already know, you probably already do know, but Scratch is a block-based coding program just to design, is designed to introduce programming concepts in like a really simple way. Um, and for my project that I've created today, I've just made a short animation of a ballerina performing on a stage, and I've just used movement blocks, sound effects, and costume changes to kind of create the appearance of a small performance. So I'll just briefly explain to you my how I've created my animation. So if you just follow along with my cursor, I'll go through each thing. So my program starts with the when green flag is clicked block, which just starts the animation. And then I've used a start sound with a cheering sound, which kind of just makes it out like the crowd is cheering the person onto the stage. Then I've used a go to X and then Y block, which just centers the my sprite character to I've made it to the left side of the stage because it then walks onto the stage from the left to the right. And then I've also used a point in direction 90 block, which just makes sure which my sprite is the ballerina, my character, is just making sure that that's facing the front, not to the side or on an angle or anything. And then I've gone ahead and used a repeat 45 block with a move 3 steps block, which just moves my character from the left into the center of the stage. And then the repeat 45 just makes it more of a smoother transitioning instead of like a jagged bouncing, I guess, across the page. Then once my character has moved into the center of the stage, the clapping sound stops, and then I've used a start sound, and I've used a classical piano sound, which just once again gives the ambiance, I suppose, of the ballet performance with the background music. And then with the performance of my ballerina, I've used a series of switch costume blocks with a wait 1 second in between, which just, yeah, makes it more of a smoother transition. So, yeah, it changes the um, movement of the ballerina and looks like it's doing ballerina moves. So I use like a D, A, B, C, and then an A again block. Once it's done all of those movements, then I've used a stop all sounds, which stops the classical music, and then straight into a clapping sound, um, and then which is, yeah, to clap the sprite off the stage at the end of the performance, and then same thing to move my sprite from the center of the stage to off the stage. I've then used a repeat 100 block with a move 3 steps, and then at the end, stopping the clapping once it's off the stage. So pretty simple. Now I'll just show you quickly my video. So let me just make that full screen for you. And here's my video. That's that. So yeah, using programs like Scratch can be a really effective way to introduce students to coding and digital technologies. I like Scratch and using the block-based coding, and it just made it so much easier for beginners like myself to understand. And instead of worrying about like trying to code correctly, students can just be focused on how the program works and how the different blocks can be connected together. I found one of the biggest advantages of Scratch that it encourages creativity as well as problem solving. So students can create their animations or stories, or you can make simple games, which makes learning coding more engaging. It also helps develop important skills like sequencing, logical thinking, and persistence because students often need to like test their code and adjust blocks when things don't work to figure out how to make it work. In my future teaching practice, I will definitely be using Scratch as a part of digital technology lessons, where students can design their own stories or whatever they want to create. And it also can be connected to other learning areas such as literacy. where students might create like a digital story or even maths when they can be working with sequencing and patterns. However, there are some challenges as well. So, for example, accessing devices and technology can sometimes be limited in classrooms in certain schools. So students, and also students just have different levels of technology experience. So many might need more support than others, and just when learning how to use the program. And using Scratch also links well to parts of the curriculum, the digital technologies curriculum, particularly where students are learning to create digital solutions and understand how algorithms work. And just by arranging the blocks, students are essentially creating simple algorithms, um, and learning how programs follow a sequence of instructions. So yeah, overall Scratch is just a great introduction to coding because it's visual, creative, and accessible for younger learners. So yeah, thank you.